Hello everyone, I'm Jill Korach. I am a Project Dragonfly graduate advisor and I'm also one of the Capstone course instructors this semester. So this video is really to compile some of our top tips and advice from Capstone instructors, facilitators, and really a review of some of the top portfolios that we've seen come from our graduates. So if you have additional questions, feel free to follow up with your Capstone instructors or facilitators in each of your sections. So our first tip really would be on authorship. So we're often asked the question, who am I writing this portfolio for? And there really can be a number of answers to that question. You're writing this for yourself. It's really an opportunity for you to synthesize the master's experience. You're also writing it to the graduate committee. It's giving us a chance to review your work, to see what outcomes you've had, what projects you've created, and how you tie that together through your master plan and your goals that you've had throughout the program. Now also think about authorship though toward maybe your current or future employer. Many times folks have shared that this has been an excellent place to share some of their work if they want to show a writing sample, or maybe you want to let a current boss know what you've been doing in your off time during your time in the master's program. So think about all of those different audiences as you're creating this portfolio and make it what's most beneficial for you. Second tip would be to be yourself and be professional. This is really a chance where the organization is up to you. Think about some of those common themes that have been present throughout your work, even more so than just your master plan goal. What have those themes been that have been present in your work? How can you professionally organize that information to tell that story? This is really your chance for it to be your story. So you don't have to organize it the same way that one of your peers is in the class. Really think about a way that best describes the achievements really that you've made throughout this master's. Third would be to start by introducing your work. So you have the opportunity to have a summary section at the start of your portfolio. Take time to tell us what your master plan goal is and how that's incorporated. Think of it, this could be a good description as your abstract to this overall project of your portfolio and your master plan. So tell us a little bit about your introduction, about your methods, about your outcomes, your findings, and what those conclusions have brought you to. That really is a chance for us to have that summary of the overall top level look at your projects. Then we can get more into the specifics from each of the assignments that you'll be attaching within the portfolio itself. Fourth would be to offer some indicators to really show those outcomes. So tell us, how can you quantify what has happened from that experience? Even if it wasn't part of that assignment, can you now tell us how many people have used, if we use the example of a community garden maybe being part of your project, how many people have used that community garden? Think about how to quantify some of that information. So when you share those outcomes in your summaries, that will really add kind of bookends to how these experiences started, what that project actually looked like, and then where that's come from and where that's going since you've submitted that assignment. And with that, we want you to think about the fifth, really using those learnings on reflection. So we just talked about reflection a couple weeks ago. How can you reflect on this experience professionally and still make that a part of your portfolio as well? So maybe you want to think about some of those from quantifiable. Now you want to think about some of those qualitative assessments that have happened throughout your project. Is there a different feel to that community garden now than there was when you started a few years ago in the master's? Is there more empowerment maybe among neighborhood girls? Maybe you see them having more confidence using that community space, knowing that it's a space for them. So we want to hear both. We want to hear those quantifiable outcomes, but we also want to hear a chance to have you, in your own words, reflecting professionally on what's happened for you in this master's program thus far. Sixth is to proof and check and recheck your work. Just like a CV or a resume that you would submit to a potential employer, we expect no typos, and really use your peers and friends to read and reread this portfolio so that that final portfolio is the best work that you have submitted in this program thus far. Seventh would be, don't rewrite past projects. So this can be tough if you read something that you wrote 3 years ago and you maybe feel like you're a different writer now, really just take that as growth. This is an opportunity to see where you started and where you've come to at this point, 2.5 or up to 5 years later in the program. So think about that. Don't worry about rewriting anything. Just submit that work as a part of your portfolio and then tell us what some of those outcomes from that work have been or what your learnings have been now that you're processing and adding that information to your portfolio sequence. 8th would be to cite your references. This is a chance to show us, where are you grounded in the literature around these topics? What are those major themes? Not just what is your master plan goal, but what are the themes that are present? What's helping to glue together these assignments for you and show us that you're grounded in that literature, in that field, from all of your time of all the readings that you've done to be able to create all these assignments throughout your master's work. 9th would be to have fun. So it's neat to have the opportunity to actually process an experience. So often in life, we have to go from one experience to the next. We never really have that opportunity for downtime to truly reflect on what did that experience mean to us in the broader whole. So take the time to do that here. Enjoy smiling and thinking back to some of those past experiences that you've had, and as you shape that into this portfolio that you'll be submitting here in just a few weeks. There are great examples that are included in the Knowledge Center. So if you click on the green navigation bar at the top of Dragonfly Workshops, that can be one other place to look if you'd like to see some examples, or don't worry about looking at them. Just think about what you want this organization of your master's portfolio to look like and run with that. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask your course instructors or facilitators, and we will see you on the web. Thanks.